Do you think you're playing football? Do you think you're playing football? Do you think you're playing football? You are showing me nothing.
Fires, Mike Sims, Walker, knocked down.
Oh my God! Davis is going running all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game.
In trouble, he's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again.
Jackson takes it himself. Look at him turn back and forth. Oh! He broke his ankles.
I have never seen this before in my life.
Still looking. Firing. Near corner. It's caught!
Denver! Unbelievable!
And welcome to the Fourth Down Fiasco.
Hello and welcome to the Fourth Down Fiasco, your go-to podcast for an in-depth exploration of all things football. Each week we dissect the highs and lows of our last week's games, offering expert analysis, a loose definition of it at least, player insight, and memorable moments. I am your locally depressed Cowboys fan, Jordan Pryor, and with me are the rising stars of the podcast industry, the man with an odd obsession for Austrian street signs, Danny Weber, and the flu game phenom, Tanner Vinsky. And yes, he really does have the flu right now. Say hello to the people.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
The rundown of today's podcast will go like this. In our first segment, we'll dive into the results from Super Wildcard Weekend, followed by some big head coaching moves that we weren't able to talk about in the last episode, followed by divisional round predictions, examining the European League of Football's 2024 schedule, which was released yesterday, and we will end with a fun little draft. So y'all just hang tight. And with that, it's fourth down, go to goal, D-Dub, TV. Are we going to win today?
Do we have Dak Prescott as our quarterback?
So no. It's going to be a rough pod. Yeah. All right. So with that, sure. Let's go ahead and dive into the wild card weekend. We do want to issue an apology to two particular quarterbacks, Jordan Love and CJ Stroud. We just didn't realize that
that they definitely have their dog in them.
Yeah. They balled out. Only 2 yards of stats separating them. Exact same stats except for 2 yards, which was crazy. But I guess we'll start with CJ since he was the first one to highlight the Super Wild Card Weekend. What did you think of the man that we were wrong about?
I think he did what we thought Flacco was going to do. Mm-hmm. We just had our quarterbacks mixed up, Like, we thought Stroud was going to struggle, Flacco was going to pop off, but actually it was the other way around because the Texans decided to absolutely wall up Cleveland 45-14.
Oh, yeah. Tan?
I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy that we saw CJ Stroud do what he did. I mean, it might be the best rookie QB playoff debut ever.
Yeah, because I remember them saying that the most touchdowns thrown by a rookie quarterback in a postseason game was 3.
And he tied it before halftime.
And he tied it at halftime. Yeah, and I mean, he definitely could have. He could have gotten way better stats if they really wanted to, but the game wasn't close.
Yeah.
So played smart. Your second half, just making sure that you're doing all the right things instead of trying to run up the score, which they still ended up running up the score regardless.
Unintentionally, there was 2 pick sixes back to back.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Flacco ran up the score.
That
Sleeper
was
agent Joe.
I felt bad enough after the first one. I was like, okay, Joe, shake it off. It's going to be fine. Get them back into it. And then when he threw the second one, I just laughed.
Did you guys watch the clip of the second one? Did you notice what the linebacker did?
He literally didn't move?
Yeah, he snapped the ball and didn't even take a step. Didn't even flinch.
Yeah.
It was just funny. He mastered invisibility just for a second.
It was definitely a very Joe Flacco throw. The first one is the one that made me laugh the most because he was getting swarmed, and I think it was second down. He should have just taken the sack, honestly. Yeah. Live to fight another day, and instead he throws up this 50-50, well, not even a 50-50 ball. He threw up a fuck it ball, and it was nowhere near anybody except for Houston. So
and you're almost in the red zone, basically.
Worst comes to worst, you kick a field goal, so be it. But you get points on the board instead of giving the other team the ball. And they ended up getting decent field position.
At that point in the game, it was 24-14. And kick a field goal, make it 24-17 instead of going down 31-14.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. But, I mean, Flacco still, he didn't have a horrible stat line. Besides the 2 picks, he still threw for 307 and a touchdown. But
yeah, but I mean,
still,
it was a bad game for the Browns. And dude, shout out to that number 1 defense being fucking frauds.
Well,
oh my god.
Game, but I didn't even realize away from Cleveland they were giving up like 27-29 points a game.
Yeah, insane that happens.
Yeah, at home they're giving up like 12, but on the road they can't stop anyone. And
yeah, that is odd. I mean, I get being a little bit better whenever you have the home crowd behind you to get you juice, but that big of a difference, I feel
unreal.
There's got to be some sort of a scheme issue there or something.
Yeah, and I don't know. Now I feel like if I knew, I didn't look into that stat, and I feel like if I did, I would have picked Houston. But hindsight's 20/20 for all of us.
Yeah. Well, hindsight being,
I guess that stat actually makes sense because I'm looking at the Steelers in their first week the second week of the season with Matt Canada leading plays put up 26 on them. So yeah. I mean, if you got Matt Canada's offense putting up 26 on you, actually there might have been a defensive touchdown in that game.
Still,
that doesn't even sound like an actual coach's name.
Then the Colts put up 38, Seahawks put up 24, Ravens put up 31. Even the Broncos put up 29 in a win against the Browns.
No.
Rams put up 36. Wow.
I will say this has been my favorite storyline that I've seen happen is seeing the Browns just absolutely throw their future away so miraculously. Like, you trade 3 first-round picks, pay at best a serial groper $230 million and backload his contract, and you got rid of all these assets. Imagine this Cleveland team with Baker Mayfield and those 3 first-round picks.
It would be. I'd love to see it, but I'd hate it. We'd both hate it
because they would be good. They would be making a Super Bowl push if they would have kept those 3 first-round picks and would have Baker Mayfield under helm.
Oh yeah,
they would be going. But they wanted an adult at QB, and he sat on the sideline the whole time.
Are we sure that Deshaun Watson's an adult though?
Yeah, and now they lose 45-14 in this absolutely embarrassing fashion, and then they get to watch Baker Mayfield on the Bucs make it further in the playoffs than them
against the last year's Super Bowl contender.
And a lot of people are going to be talking about how the Russell Wilson trade might be one of the worst trades of all time, but the Deshaun Watson trade I think will go down as the worst trade of all time. I think for what Cleveland gave up, for what they gave Deshaun Watson, and for how good everybody else got because of them, I think it's going to be worse than the Herschel Walker trade. The Herschel Walker trade propelled the Cowboys to do what they did, but that was just because of weird kind of old school rules where you could just not use or you could just cut all the players and get draft picks.
Yeah.
The Cowboys just manipulated the system. This was the Browns actively shooting themselves in the foot. Mm-hmm. And I think the Texans are probably going to win a Super Bowl with CJ Stroud, and the Bucs might win a Super Bowl with Baker at some point. So the 2 people that you ostracized and destroyed through this trade, you're probably going to lead to 2 different NFL teams getting Super Bowls because of your ineptitude.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Good for Cleveland. They're good at something, right?
They're good at making
They're good at being the worst.
Yep.
They're good at making sure that even with these other absolutely embarrassing losses, you somehow still think that the Browns fucked up the most, the
Browns will always brown.
The Browns will always brown. Well, moving on to the next Saturday slated game, we had Dolphins-Chiefs. I don't think any of us were surprised with that one. As soon as I saw what the temperature was going to be outside, I knew Miami didn't have a chance. Tua got exposed. The entire team really got exposed. Yeah, I mean, and KC was so physical. I know y'all saw that play where Tyreek got jammed at the line.
Oh my goodness,
that shit was
hysterical.
funny. He got pushed like a little kid.
He lived up to it though. He posted on Instagram. Yeah, the day after.
He laughed about it. So I mean, he was a total like G about how he handled it, but he still got punked on the field. Oh, yeah. That was crazy.
That Chiefs defense, man. Oof.
Here's a fun fact. The Dolphins finished with one win over a team over 500. The 4-12 or 4-13 Patriots finished with 2 wins with teams over 500.
Oh man.
Yeah. So the Dolphins were frauds all year. They just looked flashy because their offense would put up 60 points a game every once in a while against bad teams.
And the one over 500 team that they beat was also incredibly fraudulent. I wonder who they could have been.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, I guess are there any other comments about Dolphins Chiefs other than we knew it?
Mahomes' helmet decided to shatter because he lowered his head, but it's a whole different.
They're going to show that. Hey, that's going to be all over the NFL space for the next 10 years. That image of the helmet breaking.
That picture, I will say, that one picture that that lady captured of it, like in action with the piece like on the Dolphins helmet. That's a pretty sick pic. Like to capture that exact moment.
It goes
go
hard.
Her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that game over from the beginning. At least Tyreek got his big touchdown in his return to Kansas City. But that's all he did.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Still 26-7.
No, yeah. Not much to talk about.
Yeah. Still not as quite as painful as the Cowboys losing to the Packers 48-32.
Oh.
Yeah. Am I allowed to go on my rant, Danny?
Yes. At this time, we're going to take a quick Jordan rant. So just sit back, let him talk, and Tanner and I will just listen.
And this is coming from a lifelong Dallas Cowboys fan who's under the age of 30, so I've never actually seen them do anything. It is time to boycott the Dallas Cowboys. The reason being, in our 28 years of mediocrity that I have experienced, there's been one common denominator, and that is Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones says he cares about winning football games. Jerry Jones does not care about winning football games. Jerry Jones cares about making money and having a cool storyline. That's what Jerry Jones is about. That's the reason why the Dallas Cowboys, year in and year out, are always the most expensive franchise in the world, out of all the sports across the world. Jerry Jones does not care about winning football games. He has instilled a toxic culture that is more focused on branding yourself and accolades than it is on actually winning football games. And he is always so scared to move on quickly from something that doesn't work, as we saw in the Jason Garrett era of 10 years of 8-8, basically, that it is very clear what he is about. And the only way that you can force someone that high up in an organization to make a change is you got to hurt the bottom line. It doesn't matter, you can be mad at quarterbacks. Dak and Romo are better than plenty of other quarterbacks in history that have won Super Bowl rings. We have had, perennial Pro Bowlers on the offensive line in Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, Zach Martin, future Hall of Famers. We have had generational talents on the edge in Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Ware. We have had coaches who have won Super Bowls and Mike McCarthy, and say what you want about Wade Phillips, but that 2015 Broncos team won because of that defense. We have had all the pieces all the time, but somehow we always still seem to shoot ourselves in the foot. And at some point or another, you got to hit a full reset. And that's what Jerry is afraid of. Jerry will not hit a full reset. He is afraid of being bad for 2-3 years to get draft capital and to, start from scratch, because that means he's going to lose a lot of money. So if we want change to happen, he just has to lose money to begin with. So I am calling upon all Cowboys fans in 2024. We're switching over to the Texans. I know it feels dirty because fuck Houston for life, the city, not the team. And it is time that we force Jerry's hand to make some change. That is all. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think he should be the owner, GM, and president of a team.
He just needs to cut the checks.
Yep.
That's all he needs to do.
Hire a competent GM.
Yeah. So that was my rant. I just have to say I'm not surprised, and I don't think any Cowboys fans are surprised. On paper, we should win. We should have won that game. We were the better team, top to bottom, and I don't think that it's crazy as a fan that I should expect my 12-5 team to beat up on a 9-8 team with a second-year quarterback.
Technically, he's been in the league 4 years. First year as a starter.
First year as a starter. Okay, I thought he was a second year for some reason, but still a very inexperienced quarterback. That's Aaron Rodgers is gone. There is no boogeyman. We should have won this game, and instead we got embarrassed on national TV. And none of us are surprised. We all had that little bit of doubt in the back of our brain of Cowboys going to Cowboy.
Cowboys going to Cowboys.
And it's how it's been for the past 28 years.
Yep. I didn't realize this, but it makes a lot of sense. You guys have gone 12-5 every single year. Mike McCarthy's been there.
Yeah.
And you've won one playoff game.
Regular season success is great and all, But at the end of the day, if you can't get past one round of playoffs, it's cut everybody.
Reminds me of Marvin Lewis. He's like 0-11 in the playoffs.
Yeah, it is. It's just embarrassing. I'm tired of getting beat up on for being a Cowboys fan.
But so we talked about how we got to witness the greatest rookie quarterback game of all time. And then literally a day later, we got to see another one that was identical to it, which is absurd.
Oh, I will give full credit to Jordan Love. That dude balled out of his mind. It was some of the throws he was making off of his back foot. They were like fadeaway jump shots. That shit was disgusting, and it was like poetry in motion.
Mm-hmm. I saw a video. It compared all three, Favre, Rodgers, and Love, and they all did that weird like 5-6 step drop. Kind of hopped on their feet, leaned back, and just flicked it.
Yep.
And I don't know how the Packers have drafted what looks like 3 generational quarterbacks in a row. At least they've done 2.
Yeah.
So
Jordan Love has that makeup in him, though. I mean, he did not seem rattled. He was getting smacked around, especially when we had a fighting chance early on in the game and before it got ugly. I mean, he was getting hit, and he was just standing in the pocket and delivering. Yeah. So full credit to Green Bay for coming out, playing their ass off, and to Jordan Love for that was an incredible performance.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it comes from what Matt LaFleur did, with just – knowing that this Dallas team struggled against a run and establishing very early on that we're going to be running the ball, and having Aaron Jones put out that output that he did, allowed it so there was so much RPO that could be played and there was so much play action that could happen that Dallas just was having the secondary become wide open.
Yeah.
Like is having wide open, and they were getting pressure on Love, but he was able to get it off in time. Because, Dallas had to second guess themselves about whether or not the ball was being ran or not.
And also,
I think it was just
Stephon Gilmore forgot how to cover.
Yeah, I was going to say, can we talk about that Luke Musgrave touchdown real quick? Yeah, Luke Musgrave faked to the inside. Gilmore just put his head down and sprinted across the field the wrong direction.
Yeah. Forgot what team he was playing for.
Truly.
None of us are getting paid to play football. None of us played football at any professional level. But I still feel like we could have had a better coverage than him.
I could have stood still and been in the right spot. I can tell you that much.
I would have played 10 yards off and just kind of shadowed him. If he would have ran me over, but I would have been there.
At least he got the height. Maybe he could have swatted it away.
I guess that's true. If I saw him getting the ball thrown to him, I could attempt to make it.
Yeah, you got long arms.
Go.
My 5'9" ass wouldn't stand a chance.
I guess being 6'4" has its pluses.
Yeah. Fair.
Crazy that Jordan Love was able to beat the Cowboys in the playoffs, though, but he wasn't able to beat Kent State. Shout out.
Kent State?
Oh, God. We are moving on now because we're talking about
What, you don't want to talk about the Tesco Frisco Smoothie Bowl?
Nah, I'm okay. So Rams Lions, that was a good game.
That's all Kent State has.
I feel like we were pretty right in thinking that Stafford was going to play well. I thought overall he played pretty well.
That was a really good game.
Yeah, it was just a damn good game. It's just one of those that it really just kind of it came down to the wire, and both teams played their hearts out, and Detroit just had just a little bit more. But yeah, I thought that this was definitely the best game of the weekend.
Easily.
Yeah.
The only thing I've seen on social media about it is the 4th and 5 when they threw it up to Nakua, and they're like, you could have had 1 of 3 penalties on this play, and it's like, yeah, you could have, but still, like that, calling that penalty would have changed the entire game. Like calling that penalty would have given the Rams the win.
Yeah.
But can we give it up to Nakua for the year that he had? A 5th round quarterback, or not quarterback, wide receiver at a BYU, going for 181 yards and a touchdown in his first postseason game, and then still in the regular
LA's in good hands with him.
Oh yeah, and even in the regular season, have the most receptions and yards as a rookie.
I have a buddy who absolutely hates Puka Nacua because he went to a U of U BYU game, and apparently he was chirping at him at the sideline, and he threw his mouth guard at him.
That's hysterical.
Yeah, so Puka threw his mouth guard at my buddy.
Nice.
Shout out Colton.
Shout out Colton. Hey, Colton, I hope you're listening to the pod right now, my guy.
I hope he kept the mouth guard so then he can just go to a Rams game and get it signed.
No, he hates man.
Oof. But talk about the Rams. Did you guys see that they have like their own, I don't even know, like computer generated like scouting software?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. There's a whole behind the scenes thing I saw. And that's how they got Puka in the 5th. They're like he could be listed as like a 7th or like a 3rd round, but he tested horribly and everything. Like he ran like a 4.6 or something like that. But the program was just saying that some people are look faster and play faster in pads than in nothing, than in spandex basically. Mm-hmm. And Nakua is one of them, and he looks fast.
No, yeah, I mean he's again they're in good hands with him. I'm also happy for the city of Detroit getting their first playoff win in 35 years. 32. 32. Okay.
Just the other year, 2 years ago, was that 2 years ago? The Bengals broke a 31-year streak. So I know exactly how the city of Detroit is feeling. It was
good for them, and I hope they win again next week. And you know what? Screw it. I hope they win again the week after that and end up in the Super Bowl.
Give me a Houston-Detroit Super Bowl.
Dog,
the
that
NFL
would be.
Wouldn't like it, but everyone else would.
Oh, it'd be so much fun.
Or a Houston Bucks Super Bowl, so we can keep making fun of the Browns.
Oh my goodness! Yes, give us a Houston Bucks Super Bowl, please.
Well, then we also had Steelers Bills. I will say, Tanner, I was very excited for you for one moment because I did think that we had a game there for a split second. But your boys fought. Your boys fought better than my boys fought. So
yeah, they did.
You should feel good about that.
No, I mean, I expect us to lose by 50. I picked them just to try to manifest, some sort of deity above to hopefully, have them win a playoff game for the first time since 2017.
That makes
first time since I graduated high school.
Yeah.
So, God damn it. Yeah, I mean, it's more of the same. I mean, Mike Tomlin takes really untalented rosters and he just wrings out all the talent possible. There's this really good clip of Julian Edelman talking about Bill Belichick, where he says that Bill Belichick takes his team as a towel and he essentially wrings the towel out of water and to get every single drip of talent out of his players. And I think Mike Tomlin is the exact same way. I mean, this team had no right to go 10-7 and make the playoffs and fight against the Bills. Yeah. It's not realistic. It shouldn't happen because the talent on this team, I mean, we were freaking throwing out Mitch Trubisky out there, man. How do you win 10 games when you have Mitch Trubisky starting some of them? It's insane.
That's incredible, honestly, when you put it like that.
It's incredible what Mike Tomlin does year in and year out. And, he probably will break Tom Landry's streak of most consecutive seasons without a losing record if he continues coaching for the Steelers, I'm always going to be the Mike Tomlin defender. I think anybody who wants Mike Tomlin out of town does not understand how dark the bottom of the league is and what that pit looks like.
Oh, I know.
Trust me, I've watched the Pirates a lot in my life.
Shout out NL Central.
Dude, I know what rock bottom looks like. I'm also a Clippers fan, so I've seen some abysmal Clippers games. Yeah, dude, I lived in SoCal for a little bit. I wasn't going to root for the Lakers. I'm a bandwagoner.
I didn't know that the Clippers even had fans. That's impressive.
I'm one of them. Let's go. Hey, so I'm committed to watching bad teams play like any sort of sport, but I do not want that for the Steelers. And the thing is honestly, if we just go 9-8 for the next 10 years, maybe we'll just draft somebody after all the other good QBs retire, right?
Maybe. You guys are just pulling the Thunder, but kind of reverse, where the Thunder just stacked up on draft capital for 5 years. You guys are just not.
We're just waiting for Mahomes and Allen and Burrow and Lamar and Stroud, all those guys to retire.
In the words of Tony Romo,
Stroud just started, so have fun with that one.
Yeah, well, they'll all go eventually.
I guess that's true. But in the words of Tony Romo, Pittsburgh just ran into Superman Josh Allen.
Okay, so I am going to vent a little bit. So I didn't think I was going to vent, but I'm going to vent a little bit because the thing is the game had no right to be within 2 touchdowns. Like, the Bills came out 21-0, came out hot. They looked unbeatable, and we looked terrible against them. But then there was just – I feel like Josh Allen gets this treatment by the refs, and it drives me insane. And you know what? I know when somebody tackles somebody who's sliding, you're supposed to call the penalty.
Don't fake slide earlier in the game.
But don't fake slide earlier in the game. Like, what are the Steelers linebackers supposed to do? Just let him get a first down? Like, what is the – it's so infuriating to watch. And then, we had that play where Joey Porter Jr. got injured and just got absolutely blindside tackled and smashed against. And how is that not a penalty? And I know the Pat Freiermuth fumble was wacky and probably wasn't the right call. But, Justin Fields isn't getting that roughing the passer on that slide. The freaking Bengals or the Rams or any of those teams, they're not getting that preferential treatment on that penalty against Joey Porter Jr. They're getting called on that 100%. We saw Stafford get obliterated. And it sucks that the NFL is just like Josh Allen can get away with anything and it's fine. And the Bills and it's just I can't stand it. Like, it's okay if you want to you want your Bills Chiefs rematch, and you want Bills to have home field advantage. You want this huge storyline. I get it. But come on. The Steelers were going to lose anyways. You don't have to make sure they're dead in water.
Don't make it that obvious.
Exactly. It was so frustrating to watch. And it sucks because Joey Porter Jr. absolutely that was such a dirty hit. It was terrible.
Yeah. And the whole George Pickens was that another 4th and 5?
Yeah, that was the fourth. That pretty much ended the game. I mean, he got held. It was a penalty. I don't know. It's whatever. I mean, we weren't going to beat the Bills anyway, so I'm not that upset about it. I'm just more upset about it because I feel like it always favors the Bills. If this was a different team, it was like playing against the Patriots for 20 years, man. I saw the Patriots get preferential treatment for 20 years. I don't need it for another AFC East team.
It's the Bills and the Chiefs. Every time Mahomes gets touched, he looks at the ref and starts to basically cry.
Flag.
Yeah,
and maybe it's a hot take. But I think Allen's worst about it. I think
Mahomes for sure
is bad about it, but I think Allen is worse about it.
Yes. Sorry, you were gonna say?
No, it drives I can't stand watching Josh Allen play football sometimes because he is, again, this is going to be such a crazy comparison, but Josh Allen to me is like the Joel Embiid of the NFL, where he's this massive guy, but he's always foul baiting and playing so soft and doing all these things, and everyone talks about how tough they are and how great they are at their sport.
And how they should be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, and it's like Joel Embiid falls when someone blows on him,
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with Josh Allen, and they both always get these fouls, and it drives me insane. And I can't believe you can foul bait in the NFL. Like, when did that start becoming a thing?
Yeah, whenever we played the Bills, I mean, I already knew that was a thing, but getting to see it firsthand really pissed me off because there was a play where I don't remember which of our guys it was. I want to say it was Kirsch, but he put someone in the dirt with a stiff arm. It was nasty, trucked him, whatever, good play. And then it was like 2 plays after that, he throws a ball and it's a bigger guy. It's like DeMarcus Lawrence or somebody, I mean, they gave him a little shove, but it was not a big shove, and he just flails his arms back, and it just total Oscar-worthy performance. And then they get a flag. And
I've never seen a quarterback flop.
Yeah, he flops. Yeah, it's just frustrating,
and it's brutal. It's obvious.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, we can only complain about Josh Allen so much. So let's talk about the last game, which I think.
Before we jump ahead, can I say something?
Yeah, go for it.
Is Tony Romo going to explode next week? He has to call a game between Mahomes and Josh Allen. What's going to happen to Tony Romo?
Oh no! Why did you say? Oh, I didn't even think about that.
He already I don't know what he does in the booth, but whenever he calls a Josh Allen game, it sounds a little sketchy. And the same thing goes with Mahomes.
A little sploogey. A
little bit. So yeah. I'm a little scared for this game. I might be watching on mute or bring up the Spanish cast.
Hey, Telemundo, let's go. Yeah. Mm-hmm. ESPN Deportes. Love that.
Well, this is going to be interesting.
All right, so last game of the weekend, Eagles, Bucks, and Tanner, you called it. I was afraid to go with the Buccaneers. Yes, Danny, you also called it, but Tanner was very emphatic about calling it. Tanner was like, nah, the Eagles are frauds. They suck dick. And now we're here. And yes, it has been proven that the Philadelphia Eagles do like some wiener, and it's okay. It's 2023, 2024. It's all good, dog. Yeah. But they had that dog in their mouth, so.
That's true. I saw another stat. Jalen Hurts was it 0-2 or it had to be 0-2. He's only been in 2 postseasons. But he's 0, or it might be 0-3. 0-2, 0-3 when his defense gives up more than 7 points in the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah. So
he's got to be carried is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm. And hey, the tush push got stopped and they lost.
Yeah. And I mean, Baker looked like he was having a great time out there. That looked like college Baker. That was a great performance.
He just tackled Kate Otten after a big player. I don't even know what play it was, but they both jumped up and Kate Otten just fell over.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I mean, the Bucs looked really good. I don't think that their Cinderella story is going to continue, unfortunately, but we'll get into that in the next segment. But it was a very well-played game, both sides of the ball. They were just more physical, and they seemed more poised. And they did exactly what Green Bay did to us, basically, and they came out swinging from moment one. And I think Nick Sirianni greatly regrets telling Chiefs fans to shut up because everything went downhill.
Did you see the Eagles fan dump popcorn on him after the game?
As a Philadelphia fan does.
Yep.
Good for them.
Before we jump out of the wild card, I'm going to bring up another fun fact that you're going to hate, Jordan, but that's okay. So the Cowboys were undefeated at home throughout the entire regular season. Mm-hmm. And they ended up being the only home team in the playoffs to lose.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me.
They're also the first team to lose to a 7 seed.
Yeah. Also, Green Bay has more wins at AT&T Stadium than we do. I'm well aware. Everyone has been reminding me of these stats for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Or not 3 weeks, 3 days.
Packers are 6-0 at AT&T, 5-0 in the playoffs.
Yep.
I think the Texans also have more playoff wins than the Cowboys do in the last 20 years.
That's too.
Brutal. So, well, all right, we're going to kick it to commercial break real quick. Whenever we come back, we're going to talk about some coaching changes as well as talk about our predictions for the divisional round that's coming up this weekend. Stay tuned.
This podcast is sponsored by Hair Club.
Fellas, are you losing your hair? Hairline receding, maybe? In the past, we as men had limited options. We could either rock the grandpa hairline, shave it, or resort to a very obvious-looking toupee. Well, the good news is there's an option for you now. Hair Club is a hair restoration and hair replacement service with offices spanning across the United States. Hair Club is different from other hair restoration places because they use cutting-edge technology like TricoView hair and scalp analysis, utilizing micromagnification to examine hair and scalp health. This provides better diagnostics of your hair and determines solutions to stop your personal hair loss. Solutions range from EXT extreme hair therapy to keep and regrow your existing hair by reactivating follicles and adding volume, X-Strands hair systems that is color and texture matched to perfection to blend with the rest of your hair, or even hair transplant solutions for those who are further along in their hair loss. I personally use the X-Strand system and have never turned back. My wife thinks I'm as sexy as ever and my confidence is at an all-time high, but I'm just a podcaster, right? Well, Hair Club has become such a renowned name that even dudes like two-time NASCAR champion Joey Logano and primetime Emmy nominee Frankie Muniz both utilize Hair Club services. And if you ultimately decide on a service, be sure to use the code FOURTH, that's FOURTH, for 10% off everything you purchase. And get this, Hair Club is currently running a promotion for the month of January, and all their services are 20% off. So you can stack those savings with the code for a total of 30% off of your final purchase. There's no better time to get your hair back than now. So fellas, boost your confidence, get that look you want. Go to hairclub.com today.
Are you looking for a podcast to advertise your business? Well, you're in luck. Here at the Fourth Down Fiasco, we're looking for show sponsors. Whether you want to be a platinum sponsor and be mentioned at the beginning and end of every episode, or you just want a simple 30 or 60-second ad, we got you covered. If you're interested in having a spot on our show, you can reach us at fourthdownfiasco@gmail.com. That's fourthdownfiasco@gmail.com. We are excited to hear from you and even more excited to have you on the show. Join the Fiasco family now.
All right, and welcome back to the Fourth Down Fiasco. So when we posted the pod last week, we had recorded probably 6 hours before the Nick Saban news had broke. So, and since there's only probably
before Belichick.
Yeah, and since really only our moms listen to us here on this podcast, we weren't going to have an emergency podcast released. But so we are going to talk a little bit about it today. We saw a lot of coaching changes.
Yeah.
So
for whatever reason, last Wednesday was a big realignment day for coaches.
Yeah, everybody dipping out. I mean, I get it. Again, sometimes you just got to stir the pot a little bit, you know. So Saban's out, Pete Carroll's out, Belichick is out.
And Washington's coach is out, but already found a new job.
And Tanner let us know during the break that Tomlin has already come out and said that he is going to stay for at least another year.
Do you think he's saying more than a year, Tanner?
Again, I hope so. I don't want to watch another coach than Mike Tomlin. Honestly, I love Mike Tomlin. He's probably my favorite coach in any professional sport ever. So I would run through a wall for Mike Tomlin. So I would hate to see it. But I think the Steelers probably shouldn't bring him back. As much as it pains me to say, I think we do need to blow it up, and we need to go to the bottom and build around it. And as much as I don't want that to happen, and as much as I dread it, I think it's the only way for us to improve.
If you do it correctly, you can go from the bottom to the Super Bowl in 3 years.
Yeah,
just saying. Cincinnati.
But truly, hitting rock bottom, I mean, I'm right there with you, Tanner. I get it. You know, I know it looks a little bit different with, you know, records and stuff, but we also need to hit rock bottom. And it just sucks because I'm like you. I don't want to. I've been enjoying the past 3 seasons of being 12-5, you know, because it's nice going into most weeks knowing that we're going to get a dub, but we need to have one of those, you know, 2-15 type seasons to really get where we need to go.
Really reset your mind.
Yeah. So,
Pete Carroll, he mutually agreed to stop coaching, but go into more of a
he's still going to be with the organization,
assistant role-ish type thing in upper management. I could see him going as GM. I
think that's what they're priming him for.
And he's been pretty solid.
Yeah, I think that's what they're priming him for. I think they're going to have him do some admin stuff for a year or two, and then I think they're. I think Seattle's getting ready for the Pete Carroll GM era.
Hopefully, I like Pete Carroll.
I do too.
But yeah, so Saban is done from Alabama, and it took them a whole 48 hours to replace him. So for any company that has a position open for more than 90 days, one of the best coaches in college football history got replaced in 48 hours. Just keep that in mind. By a coach that just lost in the college football playoffs. Well, not playoffs, championship. So
yeah, I mean it's a crazy world, you know. That one to me was a lot more of a shocker, just because, you know, with some of these other coaches, it's like they've kind of hit that era where they had won what they were going to win, and now they're kind of beyond it, you know, more in the twilight years. But Saban was keeping them boys, you know, in the top 5 year in and year out for ever, and so just that one shocked me for sure.
Yeah, I saw a stat if any player that stayed 4 years throughout his tenure, so like 4 year, every single graduating class won a championship, at least one.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, as far as college football goes, Saban's the GOAT. Like I don't think that that's even disputable at this point.
But Saban had to beat out his old friend by just a couple hours. Right before Bill Belichick decided that him and the Patriots were parting ways.
Yep, the go to the NFL. Yeah, that also was very surprising. Granted, he's definitely more in the twilight years, and I know it's not necessarily his fault because it's hard to be a great team whenever your quarterback is Mac Jones. But
and Bailey Zappi?
Yeah.
But Tanner, where do you think Belichick is going to end up? I saw a news outlet that said he wanted to go to a underachieving but talented team. So keep
I know. I
think there's the two places he interviewed. I think are exactly that.
The Falcons.
I know an even more talented team that's underachieving that he could go to.
He's not dealing with Jerry Jones.
No, he's not.
I don't think anyone wants to deal with Jerry Jones.
Someone will bite. Someone seeing that Dallas roster, someone's gonna bite and go there.
If they get rid of McCarthy,
it just won't be Bill.
Yeah.
No. Bill Belichick's too old and too good that he's not going to deal with Jerry Jones.
I don't think you guys will also get rid of McCarthy in time before Belichick signs with the team.
No. I mean, it took us 10 years to move on from Jason Garrett.
Oh, yeah.
So McCarthy's had 3 12-win seasons in a row. Jerry's holding on to that man for dear life right now.
Yeah. But I hope Belichick goes to the Falcons just to kind of like repay the city after that humiliating Super Bowl loss.
How do you? Yeah, as a Falcons fan, do you? I don't. That would feel weird. That was like when people were talking about Tom Brady going to the Steelers, and it's like, yeah, obviously I would like Tom Brady to replace Big Ben, but that just feels icky, you know.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
like that's not supposed to. Like the guy who prevented us from so many Super Bowls being our new QB, I don't know about that. And it feels like that with the Falcons, where it's like the guy who brought the most heart-wrenching moment to your city is about to be your head coach. Like that's some weird shit to deal with.
Yeah.
Hey man, you got to do what you got to do to win, bro. I will put down anything aside in order to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, the past is the past, right? We're not living on National Geographic.
Exactly. So with the coaching news out of the way, at least all the notable ones, divisional rounds are this weekend. We've got 4 games. We'll start off with Green Bay Packers, San Fran. I think it's going to be San Fran. Unlike the Cowboys and the Eagles, San Fran is one of those teams that they don't just let lesser opponents beat them up. So
yeah, I will say it's sad that we only have 4 games like really in this week. Like we're coming to the end of the season, and it's
yeah. We shouldn't have started midway through the season. We should have started the pod at the beginning of the season.
We started week 14.
Whoops.
We kind of screwed ourselves there, but we know what we were doing.
It's a tune-up for next year.
We were just waiting to find a third person before we started, you know, because Tanner and I had this idea back in February of last year. So
I'm glad there was no response to that.
I'm ignoring it.
But yeah, does anybody have anything different for Green Bay, San Fran.
I mean, the Packers defense played well. I'm picking the 49ers, obviously. But there's a little sliver that we could see the Packers win.
I'm just saying we're following the script to a T. You know, Packers beat the Cowboys and then the 49ers beat the Packers. Usually it's one round ahead of this, but this works too. You know, this is what we're familiar with.
Yep. Yeah. I think it'll be a pretty decent game through the first half. I think Green Bay will put up a fight. I think Jordan Love is, going to make some things happen early, but I think ultimately they're just not going to be able to keep up.
Give Christian McCaffrey a week off and he's a new man.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Going to have fresh legs.
Yeah. But
Tampa Bay, Detroit, that'll at least be a little bit more interesting. I still have Detroit. I think that especially with the high that they're on right now, I think Dan Campbell's just really got something good going culture-wise over there. So I think Detroit's going to win. I think it'll be relatively. I think it'll be like a 2 field goal kind of game.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Lions as well. I can see a lot of points being thrown up.
Oh yeah,
Baker played like he did last week.
It'll be a shootout.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, as much as I'd like to see the Bucs win it, I think it would be so funny, but I think it's the Lions win. And, it's been 32 years since they win the NFC title game, and they're going right back. So,
yeah.
There
we go.
Feels a little Cincinnati-esque-ish in 2021.
Hey, maybe this is Cinderella run.
Yeah, break your playoff streak.
It's those cat teams, man.
Yeah. It's a little weird. And in the Midwest, too.
I was about to say, speaking of Midwest, and then I realized Baltimore is definitely not Midwest, so ignore me. It's late. I'm tired. But
technically, they used to be Midwest when they were Cleveland, so...
Thank you, Danny. I appreciate you for coming to my side.
I do think a lot of people would argue that Cleveland's not Midwest, though.
How is Cleveland not Midwest?
Cincinnati's Midwest.
Yeah,
Ohio is Midwest. Kent State's
Pittsburgh is Midwest.
Pittsburgh's not Midwest.
Pittsburgh is the beginning of the Midwest.
Right to the east of Pittsburgh and the Midwest.
No. Pittsburgh's Appalachia. We're those West Virginia hill people. All right, we are not the Midwest.
Okay, Appalachia doesn't get its own geographical region like that.
Absolutely,
not like that.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Going from Kentucky, or sorry, not Kentucky. Going all the way down from like Tennessee up to like Pittsburgh. That's Appalachia.
Tennessee is the South.
Tennessee's not the South. Eastern
My brother.
Tennessee? No, you guys are messed up. You guys don't know.
I never said Tennessee was the South.
Hey, I have family in Tennessee, and they think that they are Southern. Okay.
What part of Tennessee are they hill people Tennessee, or are they like border of like Arkansas Tennessee?
No, they have all their teeth. They're from Nashville.
I guess maybe Nashville's not Appalachia. You got to go north for that.
Yeah. Anyways, before we derailed, Baltimore Ravens, Houston Texans. How are we feeling? Ooh.
I just don't like Baltimore.
Trying to manifest it.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, both of y'all hate Baltimore, don't you? Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, bad day to wear purple.
You struggle. Your favorite color is purple, and you have to hate the only purple team in the NFL.
No, Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
True. I also hate the Lakers, which is tough.
Oh, yeah.
The only good purple team in the NFL. Let me rephrase.
There you go. I am, as much as I want the Ravens to lose, I think the Ravens are far too talented.
Yeah.
Again, I picked the Steelers to beat them because the Steelers have gone like 8-2 in the last 10 matchups against the Ravens, and we play Lamar Jackson well. Other teams don't have that recipe on Lamar Jackson as well.
Yeah.
So I think the Ravens are probably on their Super Bowl march, as much as it sucks to say, but that team is way too good.
Yeah.
I am going to join Danny's side on this, and I'm going to go with Houston as well. I think that, historically, Lamar Jackson doesn't do particularly great in the playoffs. If you look at his stats, 1-3 and doesn't have good quarterback stats, because record doesn't always mean everything, but his stats aren't particularly great either. And I think that this Houston team, they're just young, dumb, and they just don't care. They're just playing football and having fun. And I think that there's just zero pressure for them. So I think they go out and surprise a lot of folks. Yeah,
they're playing for nothing to lose. Like, no one expects them to even win this round. No one expects them to win this round. So the Ravens have to win because that's what they're told to do. Like, they're the number one seed. They're at home. They're favored.
They're supposed to be the number one team in football, so to speak. So, all eyes are on Baltimore right now.
Especially with Lamar. Like, Lamar's never had to play at a big stage in college and NFL so far because he went to Louisville. Louisville didn't do much in college. Stroud had to play in the college football playoffs. Did he? Yeah. 1 year.
Yeah.
But Lamar, I need to see him win in the playoffs. He's won one game, but last time he was a 1 seed, he did not win. So, yeah. I can see I feel like the Ravens are going to win, but I don't want them to. Even though I said last week I see the Ravens in the Super Bowl. But it is what it is. I'm going.
And as a boycotting Cowboys fan, I still want that Lombardi to go back to Texas, however that looks. So I guess, hey, I am on the CJ Stroud bus.
Yeah. Hey, and if Houston loses, at least they get to look forward to new jerseys next year.
Yeah. And they have an incredibly bright future ahead of them as well.
Nah, jerseys.
And then the last game on the docket for this upcoming weekend, Kansas City at Buffalo.
For the third year in a row.
That's going to be a crazy game, man.
This is Patrick Mahomes' first road playoff game.
Wow, that's crazy.
Besides the Super Bowl, which is at a neutral site.
Yeah.
He's never played away. I hate that.
That's crazy.
That's okay.
I don't even know who to choose. I think that these teams are matched pretty evenly, especially with how good the Chiefs defense has been. And then, Josh Allen can be a bit of a turnover machine, as we've talked about on this podcast before. But also at the same time, I do think that the Bills' offense is still better than the Chiefs' offense. Yeah. So
how did he not have a single turnover last week? He always has a turnover.
Because the Steelers' defense sucks.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I mean, bro, we had Miles Jack out in coverage. I don't know what else we were supposed to do.
I didn't even know he was in the league.
Watching him play was hysterical.
There's not much you can do when Miles Jack is your starting middle linebacker.
I sent you that video earlier today, Tanner, on the Secure touchdown run where Minkah Fitzpatrick forgot to tackle him.
He tackled him.
Miles Jack decided to tackle Stephon Diggs instead.
Yeah, he tackled the wrong guy.
Man.
Yeah, that was funny.
He was just like, it was a good tackle.
To give some leeway to Minkah, this was his first game back from injury. I think if he was healthy, I think he would have thrown Shakir down, but I mean, nothing was going on.
He just never had a real good grip on him. He got him high to begin with, and he just kind of Shakir just dropped, and he just kind of went over him. But I'm manifesting a overtime game.
Ooh.
Bills go down, score a touchdown right away. But because the new overtime rules, the Chiefs get the ball, go right down the field, touchdown, 2-point conversion, Bills lose in overtime again.
I love it. That would be awesome.
That would be the greatest thing ever.
Yep.
That would be so good to see.
That's what I'm praying for. That's what I'm hoping for.
You know what? Hey, Danny, you should be one of the NFL script writers. That is some fire storytelling right there. Yeah.
You want Daddy Goodell to change rules? Good luck.
But he can put you on staff, though, is what I'm saying. You can be like the senior chief editor script writer.
It's like when the NFL
huge dynasty.
It's kind of like with these kind of rule changes when the NFL made that rule change for the Saints to review penalties, and then the refs just refuse to do their job anyway. So that rule sucks. We're going to take it away. And it's doesn't suck. It's just you guys refuse to do your job.
That was the most infuriating year I think I've ever watched besides this one. When they would challenge a DPI, you could see the jersey get ripped, and the officials would come back out and be like, no penalty.
Looks good.
It was clean. He just has to change his jersey.
Bro, they have parlays to hit. They're not going to change that shit. What you mean?
We need a sky judge now. Just like the Alliance League of Football or whatever it was, the AAF.
You still got those cards?
Oh, heck yeah, I do. They're in a box in my closet.
Yeah, there's
Tanner and I, when the Alliance Football League folded when we were in college, went into Target and bought the single pack like box of Alliance football cards they had.
Sick.
I have a signed card of a coach. She was like the only female coach. It's signed though.
Nice.
Well, speaking of football leagues that aren't the NFL, after this commercial break, we're going to take a quick look at the ELF's schedule that got released today. Well, if you're listening to this yesterday, so come back right after this message,
2 days ago.
yeah, we'll dive into the ELF.
By the way, I picked the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, we forgot to ask what Tanner.
Oh, sorry, Tanner.
I think we also forgot to ask if he wanted the Packers and 49ers as well.
No, I said 49ers.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Sorry. It's okay. I picked the Chiefs. The Bills defense got ravaged last week.
We were too
They
busy
lost like 4
manifesting
starters.
over here.
Gotcha.
True.
Well, oops a daisy.
We'll be back. Peace.
Fires can cause extensive damage, ruining your home, business, or property, costing you thousands, if not millions of dollars worth in damages. Fires can also have a more fatal effect on yourself and those you love. All this to say, you need to be prepared in the event of a fire. Western States Fire Protection is an all-in-one life safety service provider with coverage across the entire country west of the Mississippi. They can install new fire protection systems, alarms, inspect current systems, monitor them, and provide 24-hour repair in case of an emergency. Don't wait until your business or property burns to the ground. Be proactive and save yourself time, money, and even your life by making sure that you have an updated fire protection system. Visit www.wsfp.com, that's WSFP, the acronym for Western States Fire Protection.com, and request a quote today, and let them know that Jordan Pryor and Danny Weber at the Fourth Down Fiasco sent you. Western States Fire Protection, protecting lives and property since 1985.
Are you looking for a podcast to advertise your business? Well, you're in luck. Here at the Fourth Down Fiasco, we're looking for show sponsors. Whether you want to be a platinum sponsor and be mentioned at the beginning and end of every episode, or you just want a simple 30 or 60-second ad, we got you covered. If you're interested in having a spot on our show, you can reach us at fourthdownfiasco@gmail.com. That's fourthdownfiasco@gmail.com. We are excited to hear from you and even more excited to have you on the show. Join the Fiasco family now.
All right, and welcome back. As we had mentioned in last episode, whenever we have the offseason here in the NFL, we are also going to be continuing every week, but we're going to be talking about the European League of Football, otherwise known
May
as
25th. It's a Saturday.
Yes, otherwise known as the ELF. So the schedule was released what day, Danny?
Tuesday. So we record on Tuesdays, and it was released today. So
cool.
2 days ago.
2 days ago. Gotcha. But yeah, we just kind of wanted to go through the teams. I think all three of us have a team chosen.
I'm between two, so we'll see what happens. It depends on which way you want to go. You were talking about this morning about how you...
Yeah.
And then I have no clue what Tanner's going to pick.
Fair. But so we will actually, Danny, how about you give us a breakdown real quick of how their scheduling works, what that looks like with the conferences and stuff.
So the EFL is broken down into 3 conferences. The Eastern, Central, and Western. It is a 14-week season, 2 bye weeks per team, and then I think it was 6 teams in the playoffs or 8 teams in the playoffs. I forget. I will get back to you on that one. Check out our Twitter for that. I'll post that over on Twitter. Each team plays their conference twice, and I think they have 1 out of conference game, 1 or 2?
The Eastern Conference has 2 because they only have 5 in their conference versus the other 2 conferences have 6.
So yeah, the Western and Central have 6 teams and the Eastern has 5 teams. So yeah. All right. Tanner, you want to start us off with who's in the Eastern Conference, the only 5-team conference?
Because you can pronounce these names and we can't.
Because we're Americans.
I mean, I am too, but I just have Eastern European immigrants, so.
I was about to say, you look the most European. Well, I guess Danny also looks very European, but never mind. Ignore me.
Danny's like the pretty boy European, and I'm like the guy who's gonna stab you in the alleyway European.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look like you fuck up bears for a living.
I'm more central, like European with Germany and stuff, and you're just move over east a little bit.
Yeah. So we got the Berlin Thunder, the Vadavad Enthroners.
That sounded good. Say that one more time for me.
Vadavad.
Whoa.
I know how to roll my R's. All right. enthroners. I don't know what an enthroner is, but
I
congrats
feel
to
like it
them.
has to be like a king or something. Because look at the logo; it's like a little crown.
Oh yeah, it's definitely something royalty related.
And then we got the Wrocław Panthers, and then the Prague Lions, and the Vienna Vikings.
Or in
do you just want to say for
case, the Wrocław Panthers?
Yeah, I was just about to say for all the Americans out there who don't know how to pronounce shit at Wrocław.
We apologize to every elf fan that lives in Europe. We will be pronouncing it Wrocław, except for Tanner.
Oh no, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and say it right. It's just gonna not come out right.
I don't know if I want to try. I'll try. I guess I'll try at some point.
Yeah, you got to commit.
It's easy. Just roll your R's. You'll be fine.
I don't know how to do that, but okay.
He's German. He doesn't roll R's.
Yep.
All right, Danny. Who's in the Central Conference?
I'll take it over. Go to the Central Conference. We got the Barcelona Dragons, the Helvetic Guards from Switzerland, the Milano Seamen from Italy.
Yeah, they got a lot of seamen there in Italy, don't they?
The Munich Ravens, who just signed their new offensive line coach, Hall of Fame offensive lineman Joe Thomas.
Ooh.
They just signed him this week. We got the Raiders of Tyrol. Once again, we'll figure out how to pronounce stuff. And then last but not least...
It's probably Tirol.
Tirol. The Raiders of Tyrol, Austria. And then last but not least, the losers in the last championship game, the Stuttgart Surge.
You're actually right, Danny. It is Tyrol.
Tyrol? Sick. I knew it.
Good work.
There's my...
Good job, Danny.
What can I say?
And then in the Western Conference, I'm so glad I got all the easy names. We have the Cologne Centurions, the Frankfurt Galaxy, the Hamburg Sea Devils, the Madrid Bravos, the Paris Musketeers, and the Rhine Fire. And I will probably be, Danny and I were talking about this earlier. I'm a little on the fence. I think I'm going to be a Berlin Thunder fan, mainly just because I really want to make Berlin Wall jokes because of how good their defensive line is.
They do. I've heard they had a good defensive line, so.
Yes. So, and I believe they also had the Defensive Player of the Year or whatever their equivalent is.
I think it was at the end.
Yeah, he was a DN. Yeah. So I just feel like getting to make some Berlin Wall jokes is just going to be a really good time.
It'll either be really good or really bad for us.
Yeah, I'm sure that someone will reach out and be like, this isn't appropriate. You need to stop. And I'm going to go, you're right. And then I'm going to become a Madrid Bravos fan.
I will say the Madrid Bravos are a brand new team in the ELF this year. They're taking over for the Leipzig Kings. That's probably wrong as well. But
your guess is as good as mine.
But I want to know why Madrid and Barcelona aren't in the same conference.
Yeah, I saw that too and was thinking why. Barcelona should have been in the Eastern Conference. That doesn't make sense to me.
That's okay.
Western, I mean.
Why isn't Tyrol and Vienna in the same conference as well? It's a whole thing. This league's only been around for 4 years. They are currently at 17 teams. They want to grow to 24 in the next couple of years. So we could get some teams to fold. We could get some realignment. It's all okay.
I want a North Africa team. I want them to be like the Tunisian Tornadoes or something like that. I need that in my life.
This is the European League of Football.
Shh.
You go Gibraltar.
I just want to bring back the Scottish Claymores. That's all I care about.
Fair enough. Yeah, that'd be a good time.
It's a pretty sick name.
Yeah.
It is a pretty sick name.
Right.
Just makes me think of Call of Duty.
I know. Even though it's a completely different object, but that's okay. But the two teams I am between is the Stuttgart Surge and the Vienna Vikings. I know Vienna went undefeated last year and lost, I think it was to the Stuttgart Surge in the semifinals match.
You bandwagoner.
I was about to say, what a front runner.
But there are reasons behind this. I have family that lives in Stuttgart, and I lived in Vienna. So, back off.
Guess what? I ain't never been to Berlin before.
All right, Tanner.
But I know they had a wall over there.
Wow. All right, Tanner.
Tanner.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Wrocław Panthers.
That's you're the only one who can pronounce it.
And my last name is Vinsky, so I feel like I'm obligated to.
Fun fact, Tanner. They have a short little white 5'11" running back that wears number 23 that led the league in rushing.
Let's go, dude.
Who else was
awesome.
5'11" and wore number 23 on the Panthers?
Oh, shit. That's actually kind of hilarious.
Good old Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, good old CMC.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, it seems like Berlin is in the east. The Wrocław Panthers are in the east. I feel like you got to go Vienna.
I feel like we'll just have a big old rivalry. Here, let me...
Kind of sucks for us to all pick Eastern teams, though, because it's going to be a pain in the ass to watch them.
Why do you say that?
Well, because their time zone is going to be different than, like, the teams at Spain, right?
I mean, it's 8 hours for German-ish, or for Germany and Austria and, like, that north and south. The Spanish teams, I think, is 7 hours?
7, yeah.
So it's not going to be horrible. Jordan and I were talking. We don't know what time their games will start, but if they started at like 7 o'clock at night, I don't think they would.
That's great for us.
Oh, actually, all of them. Oh, actually, all of them are in the same time zone.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Portugal and the UK are different, but that's it.
So if you're a Panthers fan, you guys play Berlin week 1. Stuttgart Surge week 2, followed by Vienna week 3. And then Vienna back again in week 6, Stuttgart again in week 9, and then the Berlin Thunder in week 12. So if I went Stuttgart or Vienna, we'd play each other twice. I will say, though,
fair enough.
I'm showing this on my screen. Go follow the Panthers' social media account because their release graphic, we'll post a better thing because this isn't going to focus, but their release graphic, one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah. Whoever's on that marketing team, they need a raise. That social media team.
Yeah.
Scrumptious.
Yeah. It's beautiful. We already retweeted it. So, yeah.
Well, cool. So, yeah, that's kind of our high-level overview of the ELF. Again, they start May what, Danny? May 26th?
May 25th, whatever that Saturday is.
May 25th. Okay, cool.
I will say, for anyone in the United States, which is everyone so far listening to our podcast, it is the exact same NFL rules, except for overtime. They adopted the college rules. So everything is the same. So there's no weird
easy to keep up with
rules, how like the XFL and the USFL did weird kickoffs and onside kicks and stuff. Very easy to follow along.
So yeah, pick a team. If you're American and you're listening, pick a team. Let's all have some fun with it because you know the off season can be brutal with no football, and I think this will give everybody something to cheer for that isn't the UFL and doesn't feel just like a cheap NFL knockoff. So
yeah. And if you've already been a fan of the EFL and you're in Europe, let us know your opinion on it. See if we're doing something wrong. Let us know. We're learning.
Or if you want to send us free ELF merchandise, we will give you our addresses, and hopefully you can come visit us in person.
Send Tanner a Panthers jersey.
Yeah.
But
so. With that high-level overview of the ELF, that does take us pretty much to the end of the show. We're going to do real quick a draft just for fun, just to kind of get people going and stuff. We're going to each draft 5 of our favorite helmets of all time, NFL helmets of all time. So on my screen, we'll try to figure out which order we should go in. We'll let Danny go first.
Sick.
I'll go last. Go last. Tanner, you can go second.
So if you're watching this podcast, it goes left, right, center.
So
I guess this podcast, this third segment, is very interactive. We want to know your opinion. We want to know what helmets you would have picked, you wouldn't have picked. All right. But to start it off, to no surprise for anyone who knows me, give me the White Tiger. Cincinnati White Tiger. Of course. The cleanest look in the NFL. You just can't beat it. That's my opinion.
Fair enough. Okay.
All right. I'm going to go with my favorite helmet, which is the Bucks creamsicles.
No!
Yeah.
Damn it!
Shouldn't have passed.
Damn it, Tanner.
Why'd you let him go second?
Oh, man. That's brutal, dog. What have I done to you to deserve that?
You're being too generous.
Yeah. It's 2024,
right,
Jordan.
My kindness is weakness. Got it. Shoot. Then I'll go with I'll do the throwback Seattle helmets, the ones that they brought back this year that are from the the late 80s. Those are sick. So
that's a good one. Their modern rendition of it, solid.
Well, I like the classic ones even better because this looked like they had like all the new stuff trying to make it look old, and I just like the old look. So
just go with the old one.
Yeah, I'll go with the old one.
Yeah, fair. Do you want to do a snake draft, or we just restart with me?
Oh yeah, let's go with the snake draft because
now
fuck
you're
Tanner.
not being nice.
I'm going to do the throwback Patriots helmets, the ones that have.
That's what I was gonna do.
That have the actual Patriot, the 3-point stance. Them hoes is clean.
Clean. They didn't just bring that back permanent.
Yeah, truly.
All right,
I thought after the Tom Brady era, I thought it would be really good for them to go back to the white uniforms.
I did too. I thought.
Yeah. You can't have good things.
Nope.
This actually works out because both of the top 2 picks I was going to go with are still available. So I'm going to take the old Oilers white helmets.
Dang.
I was looking at those.
Yeah, those are clean. Those are clean. All right, I guess my turn. The 6th helmet off our board. I'm going to go with the Falcons throwback red. I just like the early 2000s red. They give me that one. I like that one.
Okay.
Yeah. Easy.
Fair enough.
And you got another pick.
Oh, sick. Back to back, baby. I like this. I'm gonna go Broncos light blue from the 70s.
Ooh.
Give me that light blue.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
With the D and the horse in it. Yeah.
Yep.
The big old D.
The big
the big old D.
Shout out to the Broncos who are getting new jerseys as well this year.
I hope they have that big old D on
back
it.
To the big old D.
Yeah. They can hang out with the Milano Seamen any day of the week.
Now you're talking.
Wow. All right, Tanner, let's go.
I'm gonna go with the Rams yellow jerseys from when they moved back to LA. So not the sorry, I didn't mean to say jerseys. I meant to say helmets.
The helmet.
Whatever. Yeah. Regardless, it would have been the same pick either way. The same Ram helmet that usually has the white through the kind of like circular pattern. I like the yellow ones a little bit more.
The blue with the royal blue with the yellow. Nice.
Yep.
I didn't even think about that one. That's a solid pick.
Fair enough. Tanner has inspired me since he's taking the white Oiler helmet. I am taking the baby blue Oiler helmets, the one that has the red stripe down the middle.
And then just the white on the side, right? The white logo. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That's enough.
Definitely gotta go with that. And then I am going to go with. What is I don't know what you think I'm about to do or not do, but I'm about to go do it anyways. I'm going to go with the mid-2000s Dallas Cowboys Thanksgiving, the all-white helmet with just the blue star. Love it. Call me a homer. I don't care. This is why Jerry Jones makes money and doesn't win football games.
That was my next pick.
Oh, was it actually?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Now I see why you said don't do it.
Yep. All right, Tanner.
And then is that back to me? All right,
Yeah.
sweet. So I'm gonna go with the new Houston helmets, the battle red one.
That's a good pick.
Yep.
Good pick. And I'm gonna go with another new helmet. I'm gonna go with the Panthers all black. Their matte black helmet.
Oh, those ones are nice.
Yeah, I think it's matte black. Could be wrong. Either way, all black. And then Destroy Away. This is my last one.
Yes.
This is my last one. Ooh. All right. Between two. For my 5th round pick and my last pick of this draft, I am going to go with. Give me the Steelers yellow from the 60s. I like the yellow over the black. I know you guys have always had the black except for a couple years in the 60s, but I like that yellow. It's nice.
No, I do really like the yellow as well. I wasn't gonna pick it though because I have to go with just the classic black Steelers helmet. It's my favorite helmet in the NFL, but I'm not gonna be a homer and pick it first overall.
Yeah, I didn't pick our main helmet as number one. I picked our alternate.
I had to control myself, so I waited. I was scared when he said Steelers. I was like, oh shit. But we're fine. We're good. I got my classic Steelers.
So you're going back-to-back Steelers. Jordan, round us off.
All right. I'm surprised that this one didn't get chosen before. I'm going to go early LaDainian Tomlinson era, the Navy Chargers helmet with the yellow lightning bolt and the white outline.
That's a solid one.
Oh, yeah, dude. That honestly, I'm mad that I didn't think about it before because I probably would have had that higher.
I have it on my list.
Yeah, I probably would have had that somewhere in my top 3 instead. But
you got it in the 5th round. You got it.
I got a steal, baby.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I honestly forgot that they have the I forgot about the LT.
Yeah, them hoses clean.
A little bit different.
But yeah, those are back. Yeah, we made a mistake. That shouldn't have gone.
That's okay.
Very last pick.
But a couple honorable mentions. I'm going to throw out the Bengals current helmet, just the stripes, iconic. Eagles, Kelly Green. And then I'm a big fan of that Vikings Matt throwback they brought back a couple years ago.
Oh, I kind of like those too.
Yeah. I have a not so honorable mention, arguably the worst helmet in NFL history. The two-tone Jacksonville Jaguars helmet, the black and gold one.
Give me that any day of the week.
And the gradient just right down the middle of it. Atrocious.
Yes.
Dolphins is probably a snub as well. One of us should have probably taken that. The Dolphins.
They had some good
current or throwback?
I like the throwback ones more. I like the little dolphin with the helmet on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, cool.
Well,
that takes us to the end of our time. Thank you to everyone who has been listening. I know that we officially do have a couple of people who listen to us every week now because they've told me.
Hey.
And we're up to 69 followers on Twitter.
Let's go, dude.
What a great number. So for those of you who want to follow us on Twitter or X, we call it Twitter around these parts. It's Fourth Down _pod. What is our Instagram and TikTok handle?
Everything else is Fourth Down Fiasco. Twitter decided to cut us off one character short.
Lame. Okay, so yeah, follow us on the Fourth Down Fiasco on Instagram, TikTok, and then Fourth Down _pod on X. Make sure that you share this show. If you know someone who's a football lover, send it their way. We'd greatly appreciate it. Just help us grow and spread a little bit. But other than that, we appreciate y'all's time. It was fourth down. It was goal to go. And I think today we won. I really think today we won.
I agree.
Fellas.
I came in. Tanner's flu game.
With my flu game.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. Put up historical numbers.
And let us know if we left out any other helmets, or just tweet us any other atrocious helmet that's been played in the NFL.
Yeah, or your top 5. We don't just interact with us.
Let us know your top 5.
You know, we'll smile, we'll wave, we'll retweet, we'll, if you want us to pet your dog, that's cool too. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna let y'all go. Bye, everyone.
Peace.
Cool.
Well, I like school, and I like football, and I'm gonna keep doing them both because they make me feel good.